Hello everybody, how you doing? Trust you're doing great. So based on the last video I shared, I said I was going to do a brief tutorial explaining the chords I applied there. So that's the beautiful 4-3-2-1 chord movement. You can, if you've not watched that video, you can go back and see the tutorial. So I was just moving towards the left in this format. So I was playing my F major 7th chord, taking it backwards to my E minor 7th chord, then my D minor 7th chord. So I was, for my C major scale now, I was playing 4, 3, 2. So that's counting by numbers. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. So key identification by position, and that's 4. So walking downwards the major scale, 3, 2, then 3, 2, 1. So that's what I was playing on my left hand. So 4, yeah, this F, 3, which is E, 2, which is D, then 1, which is C. So that's F, E, D, then E, D, C. So let's build up. If we are going to play a dual chord, still on this, a dual chord, we have this. As you can see, I'm playing 2 notes at a time. So it's a dual chord. That's F and A. Okay? Doing the same thing. So all I just have in between is just a note. I have a note in between the 2 notes. I have a note in between. So if I'm playing this, I have this note in between. So I'm leaving that space. So it's an easy way to go about it. Then, so let's take it one more time. So that's 4, okay, 3, 2. And we'll do the same thing from 3. So we have 3, 2, and 1. So now let's make it 3 notes per time. You know, we started with 1, we moved further to 2. Now let's have a trichord. So a trichord, you have your F major chord. By position, you have 1, 3, and 5. That's playing on your F major scale. Playing on the F major scale, you have this. Okay, this is on your F major scale. So forming your F major chord on that scale, you have 1, 3, and 5, making your F major chord. So now let's do the same thing we've been applying. So we're playing F major chord, E minor chord. Then taking it one more step towards the left, you have D minor chord. All right, so let me break that down. So why didn't we call this E major chord since this was F major chord? Okay, that's because if you are playing on your E major scale, basically your E major scale. If you're new to your major scale, your 12 major scales, you can look through some of the video tutorials I posted earlier. You would find several where I explained how you can, the formula to finding your major scale across the 12 keys. That way you can play your major scale across from A down to G. So it's quite explanatory. So playing on your E major scale here, you have. So if you want to play your E major chord here, to be 1, 3, and 5. So this is your E major chord, 1, 3, 5. So moving your third here, this is your third here on your E major scale, towards the left just by 1 semitone, which is me pressing G here. I'm playing G here. You have your E minor chord. So if I do the same thing on D, this is my D major chord. If I move my third here, which is F sharp or G flat, towards the left, that's playing F now, I have my D minor chord. All right, let's do it on C, maybe to be simpler that way. This is my C major chord. This is my C major chord. That's 1, 3, and 5. That's Do, Mi, So. So that's my C major chord. So if I want to form my C minor chord, it's as simple as moving my third here, taking it towards the left by 1 semitone. All right? Again, This is my third here. This is 1, 2, 3. That's why it's my third. Then just moving it towards the left by 1 semitone. Then I have my C minor chord. So it's a simple hack to form your minor chord from your major chord. So F major chord, E minor chord, D minor chord. Then you have E minor chord, D minor chord, and C major chord. So enough of the minor and the major. So that's just 4, okay, 3, okay, 2, all right, then 3, okay, 2, and 1. So let's expand it a bit more. You know, we started with just one note, we moved to a dual chord, then we move to a trichord. So what if we have 4 notes together? What we have 4 notes? So that way we'll have a F major 7th, F major 7th, written there right there on the screen. F M A J 7. So that's your F major 7th chord. It's formed by playing your root note, your third, your 5th, and your 7th. So that's how you have your F major 7th chord. Now, so we have 4, we have 3. Remember we said this was E minor chord, then adding just one note to it, it becomes your E minor 7th chord. The same way our F major chord became our F minor 7th chord by adding that last note. So this is my E minor 7th chord, this is my D minor 7th chord, then this is my C major 7th chord. So now let's put it together. So we have, okay, okay, very simple, then, okay, then one last one. So if you look at the notes closely, you see there's one note in between. If you look at this chord, there's one note in between. Can you see? There's one note in between. Can you see? There's one note in between. So that's an easy way to go about it. There's one note in between. So just having one note in between these 4 notes. Same thing here and the last one. So let's put it together. So okay, very slow. Okay. One more time. All right. And okay, exactly.